Here we go.
What if I were to see you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Love Coach Scott Katamas, and it is the Saturday night edition of The Awakening World. And I want to welcome everybody who's watching. Those of you who are watching on Facebook or on the YouTube channels, welcome. And what you may want to do is come on in our Zoom room. That's my dog who's getting excited because we've got such a great show. You may want to come into the Zoom room because it's going to be a wonderful way to connect with our wonderful, wonderful presenters. And it's really easy to come into the Zoom room. You just go to globalpeacetribe.com. I'll go ahead and open up the screen. If you go to globalpeacetribe.com, and you'll see on wherever it is on the carousel, it says register for the new season here. And that's how you get the links to all of our shows. We do 3 shows every weekend. We do a show on Friday night, the show like tonight on Saturday night, and a Sacred Sunday show on Sunday morning. So you'll get the links to all 3 shows for the next 3 months just by registering. And most of all, then you're in the Zoom room, and it's really easy for us to see your answers, your questions. You can put the camera on you. It's a Zoom meeting format, so if you want to turn your camera on, you can. And speaking of cameras on, I really want to encourage everybody that's in our Zoom room to let us know where you are geographically. It's always really fun. And also, those of you that are watching, let us know where you are geographically. We have people from all over the world, especially our friends watching on Unify. So that's always really, really fun. Final announcement is I just want to welcome those of you watching the recording because a lot of people now watch our recordings on our YouTube channel. So welcome. I'm going to very briefly just remind you of who's going to be on our show tonight. Our theme is Love is the Answer. And we're going to hear from some of our favorite people, some of our favorite luminaries about what does that really mean? How does that show up in their life as love is the answer? And I am delighted that I have not one, but 2 of my favorite co-hosts, Jennifer Hill, coming to us from London. She usually is in Portugal. She's in London. She's going to be co-hosting. And then our beloved Teresa Collins. And of course, Teresa is who runs Global Coherence Pulse, one of our absolute favorite collaborators. And if you haven't joined Global Coherence Pulse yet, please do so. And we'll be learning and hearing all about Global Coherence Pulse. We have amazing music tonight, including Gary Malkin. And Gary is one of our favorite, well, really all of the musicians on tonight are favorites. And so we're going to have 2 musical pieces and also hear from Gary because Gary has a lot of wisdom to share. And then Johanna Beekman is with us. And Johanna is somebody that I'm going to be co-hosting and working with. Uh-oh. I just froze. Doggone it.
We'll be working together on August 13th for a pre-Bhakti Love Reunion Festival party online, right, Scott?
Yes, and we also have so many others joining us. We have Dr. James Miles joining us today, as well as one of our other favorite and esteemed musicians, Theo Grace, who has been on both the Pulse as well as the Global Peace Tribe Awakening World shows many times. I know Scott, I think he'll be back here with us in a moment. And while we're waiting for Scott to go ahead and rejoin the show, I just wanted to give everyone a little bit of a context of why this topic is so important. So, Love is the Answer came to me one day when Scott and Teresa and I were talking about co-facilitating and co-hosting another show. I love to go into my heart and to pray and meditate and say, universe, what is the theme? What should we do today? And I heard love is the answer because really, love is the answer. If you think about it, all of the esoteric and spiritual teachings around the world, if they were all to get distilled down into one essence, one thing, it truly is that love is the answer. I was sharing with our beautiful co-host and family tonight, who we're all going to be on air with, and I said it was a very apropos. This morning I was on a plane flying to London, and I had always wanted to see the movie Evan Hansen. Had any of you ever seen the movie Evan Hansen or the play perhaps? So that song, when it came out, the You Are Not Alone song, I remember hearing it first during COVID, and when we were all quarantined, we were all by ourselves, my sister sent me a rendition of the video that must have aired on a news station. And the theme of the song is that you are not alone. Even the opening theme song of the Awakening World show, we are not alone. We come from the same tribe. And as much as we may think, oh gosh, I am the only one who's sad or struggling right now, we really are not alone. And what I loved about the theme of that particular movie was it's about a gentleman who commits suicide and he just feels so alone. And the story of this estranged friend. And I did want to share personally one of my struggles. When I was about 18 to 22 years old, I did try to commit suicide 3 times, and I am so deeply, deeply grateful that the universe kept me here. And so I share that because I know what it's like to feel so alone, crushingly alone, that I'm just not going to survive this. And thank God for friends and family and resources. And when we feel that we're so alone and so afraid, just trust in your heart, reach out to a friend. Tell someone how you're feeling, even when it's hard and it's a struggle, and know that as scary, as insurmountable as it might seem, you are not alone. You are loved and you are cherished. Just yesterday, we thought my nephew, my 9-year-old special needs nephew, had a health crisis. He got urgently called in by the doctor, and we didn't know. It could have been a fatal disease that he had based on what the results were. And so I spent the day on the phone with my nephew just saying, buddy, you are not alone. You are safe and you are loved and you are cherished and you're going to be okay. And thank God we just got the blood work back and it looks like he will be okay. But it is scary in those moments. So go into your heart and just don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it. Scott, are you back with us, or should we go ahead and open the show? I don't see Scott here at the moment.
I am here.
You are there. Okay, great, my friend.
And
I'll hand it back
so
over
much
to you.
for jumping in and sharing that beautiful story. Thank you so much. And I think I was just beginning to introduce Johanna. So I will complete Johanna and then bring on Teresa, and you can complete the introductions of your friends. How does that sound?
We did. I think Jennifer did everyone except for Julie Kroll. I think that was the
sorry,
one we
Julie.
didn't mention. That's on for today, which we're super excited to have her. And I'll just say we had a pulse this morning, a global coherence pulse, and this evening tonight was really an inspiration of love, because Scott sent out this message to say there was so much love pouring in. I'm going to go ahead and do the summer. I'm going to stay with it. And I thought, you know what, maybe then every month that we do the Global Coherence Pulse on the 3rd Saturday, let's also, Jennifer and I, let's co-host with with Scott, once a month during the summer to give him a little break and to give him some love and to make him feel like, he's supported in his yes to keep providing this nourishing space. And so, tonight, love is the answer. Tonight, we're coming together in this very relaxed and casual environment where we can, be in our homes and we can allow ourselves to be nourished by the presence of each other. I love that this is on a meeting line and we can see each other. Non, I can see some people from the Islands of Coherence retreat we're having. I can see people from the Pulse. Scotty, nice to see you. It's wonderful to be here. And when we do come together like this, and when we come together and we allow ourselves to be nourished and we pulse the planet with these positive emotions that we start to feel when we join our love and genius together. So let's be nourished and let's send a wave of love out tonight that will astonish us. That's my plan. That's my hope. Let's do it.
Teresa, that's beautifully stated. Thank you so, so much. And what a blessing Teresa and Jennifer are. They both have been such an important part of the Global Peace Tribe shows. And there's so many collaborations. We work with World Unity Week, the Evolutionary Leaders Network. And it's beautiful how all these different organizations really support each other. And we are demonstrating the new paradigm in that way of being very collaborative, very supportive of each other. So thank you. And of course, we always love starting with music. And my God, today is such a amazing evening of music. And we're going to start off with Johanna Beekman, who, of course, is super, super beloved. And I'm excited because we're going to be collaborating with Johanna on August 13th, about a month from now. She's going to be my co-host and introducing and getting us ready for a very exciting festival that's going to be taking place. So we'll talk about that festival after her first song. But let's get us going with some music. And Johanna, what are you going to start us off with tonight?
Well, I was going to start off with a completely different song that's specifically about what we're talking about, which this is also going to be because all Bhakti Yoga is about love, right? So the festival that I'm getting ready for is Bhakti Love Reunion, and there's going to be mantra music from lots of different types. So I was actually inspired to share a new song that was just released on my Spotify. It's just a single, and it's a remix by Equanimous, a really great conscious DJ friend of mine out of Nevada City, and it's Om Shanti. So it's about elevating that peace within our hearts and blessing the world with that peace. And the mantras are really interesting for awakening that love. It's about removing the darkness and turning it into light, from death to immortality, from the unreal to the real, and from the untruth, may the truth be revealed. And through those acts, through all of these inquiries, we are defining and awakening more and more love within us and within our world, and healing and coming to peace, which is Om Shanti. That's the translation of Shanti, peace. May there be peace in our hearts. May there be peace in this world. Namaste.
Before you go, what a wonderful way to start this beautiful show. And I want to let people know about some really beautiful events that Johanna and the team, this incredible team she's put together, are doing. And I kind of go out and then come back in the direction. So the big event that we want everyone to participate in is the Bhakti Love Festival that she's put together. 3 days of kirtan, yoga, chants. And she's got some of our absolute favorite people are going to be there. Fantuzzi, Johanna Beekman, who we just heard, obviously, Jaya Lakshmi, Larissa Stowe. I'm in Larissa's studio right now. And literally, I'm looking at 20 names of amazing artists.
Actually, it's 50 when you start reading all of the yoga and workshops. It's hard to say no to your friends.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about what it's going to be like and also where it is geographically.
It's actually an incredible location. I played at a festival there last year. It's called Native Springs Oasis. It's owned by a man who has native blood and his elder from the tribe. Hopefully, if we're really lucky, we'll lead a sweat on Sunday night after we sing for 4 nights and 3 days. And it's not quite as deserty as Bhakti Fest was. It's in the center of California. So it's actually only 5 hours from San Francisco. It's 2.5 hours from LA and 5 hours from Las Vegas. So it's quite centrally located for California. And it's 12 hours from me up here in Oregon, so anyone can come. To me, that's nothing. I'm a touring musician. But yeah, so basically Bhakti Fest and Shakti Fest were these incredible festivals that we all loved. They're no longer. Beloved is no longer. These are sacred art and music offerings that were regulars, and they were really like a family reunion for me. So our Instagram is Bhakti Love Reunion, which came to me in a meditation when we started dreaming this up. I realized that, we do want to do a little bit more intimate than a main, like a huge festival. We only have one main stage, workshop, temple, and yoga space, and a sacred creek running through it with mineral water and a little pond and paddle boats and trees and grass, all of the elements right there on one property. It's really incredible and sacred. Plus, there's free public hot springs about 30 minutes from that location. So I was going out chanting Gayatri at the sunrise when I was at a festival out there, and then going back to the festival all grounded and fed from the nourishing waters. So that's what we're doing, September 15th through 18th. And I hope to see all of you there. It's going to be an incredible joining of hearts. We have incredible glamping also. So if you're worried about a festival and being old, which we are getting a lot of, because the mantra community does tend to be, let's say, a little bit wiser, and there is accommodation that will reflect that for you, that you will really enjoy. So that's what we're doing, and I really hope to see you there.
Beautiful.
And August 13th, right? We're going to have a few of our artists from Bhakti Love Reunion on, and I'm going to co-host.
Exactly. That's 4 weeks from tonight. And Johanna's going to be back again a little bit later on today. But just a reminder, everybody, get involved right now. So go to bhaktilove.com. That's BHAKTILOVE.com. And as soon as you do that, give them your information so you can at least, at the very least, be updated on what's happening here. And it's not letting me subscribe yet. And
Oh, it should.
it will. It'll get us
Yeah.
through. And again, there are
But
the
if you
dates.
click on get tickets, it'll show you glamping, it'll show you everything. Pictures of
And
lots
explain
of.
to people what glamping is. Glamping is
It is basically like a cute little shack camping. So it's like a bell tent, canvas walls with a nice inflatable mattress that's like a regular height of a mattress with twinkle lights and cozy. And I have to say that this particular festival is in a little bit less harsh environments than we're used to, which is nice. I spent a month at the beginning of the pandemic stranded, actually about 30 minutes from where we're holding this festival. So I feel like I'm just bringing my family back home.
Thank you so much, Johanna. It's a remarkable amount of work to put together a festival like this. And that's one of the reasons why the other festivals aren't happening, because it's a lot to produce them. So
Yeah.
thank you, Johanna. And we want to do everything we can to support you. And I'm planning on being there. So I look forward to meeting a lot of our Global Peace Tribers at your
Yay.
festival. That's going to be really, really fun.
Family reunion. Let's go.
Well, from one great musical artist to another, and to introduce that, I'm going to turn it over to my co-host, Teresa.
Thank you, Joanna. That was such a great song to start us off. I felt my little groove going and just felt really good. And also I was watching the chat and just noticing, people that kind of know each other. And we've been offering each other so much love and care. I just noticed some people are like wishing somebody well that's been having a hard time, or other people are sharing that they're being challenged, but they're on track. And it's just really beautiful how this community shows up for each other. So I'm excited to bring on Gary Malkin, which many of you know. I've had the privilege of working with Gary in a bunch of different ways, especially this year. We did rise, rest in resonance at the beginning of the year together. Seven events every day, Gary, and we had such a good time, and we really dropped into a very deep place of where, how can music and how can the quality of our speaking, and especially the quality of our presence, how can it evoke something deeper, a deeper listening, a deeper presencing, and a deeper capacity, I think, to receive and give love. And so I'm excited that Gary's with us tonight, and we have him for 2 segments. So we're giving Gary some space where Gary can really both share his wisdom and he's been swimming. So Gary's got this
Flying.
like new body happening.
No, I was
He's
saying
got his
flying.
wings opening up. He's flying. So Gary, I'm excited to place us into your loving arms
Fantastic.
for this first session of yours and see where you might take us in this little journey of love is the answer.
All right. Thank you, my dear. So just everyone, just for a moment, feel the feet under, feel the ground under your feet and the feet under your ground. and I'd like to stretch the envelopes of what we perceive as possible online with regards to quantum field, interdependent connection, palpably felt, no molecule left behind. So just imagine, just close your eyes for a minute, and imagine you're around that gorgeous crackling fire. Take through as many deep breaths as you can. Full embodiment, heart, soul, mind. What if the frequency that we need to operate at in order to even just be alive in this world today requires us to speed up at a level and a consistency that's actually depriving us from the gift of being coherent on every level of our being? If that's certainly something to strive for. So as if we're revving at earth pace, manifest world, earth pace. I'm slowing down to the speed of love. I'm slowing down to the speed of love. I'm breathing, I'm feeling, I'm sensing, and I'm knowing. I'll do that again. I'm breathing, I'm feeling, I'm sensing, and I'm knowing. I'm slowing down to the speed of love. I'm slowing down to the speed of love. I'm slowing down to the speed of love. I'm breathing, I'm feeling, I'm sensing, and I'm knowing. I'm slowing down to the speed. If you haven't been singing, I want to do it one more time in case you think this is a performance. Got news for you. This is a bit of entertainment, not entertainment. I'm slowing down to the speed of love. Sing that to your heart. I'm slowing down to the speed of love. I'm breathing, I'm feeling, I'm I'm sensing and I'm knowing I'm slowing down to the speed of love. Put your hand on your heart. Here's a poem. Quiet friend who has come so far. Feel how your breathing widens the space around you. Let this darkness be a bell tower, and you the bell as you ring. What batters you becomes your strength. Move back and forth into the change. What is it like, such intensity of pain? If the cup tastes bitter, turn yourself to wine. Sense where you are right now. What's possible online here in this space? When I was swimming the other day, which is combination for me, prayer, meditation, and exercise, this message came to me, and I swear to God. And I'm going to read it to you as it directly came into me. And I said, oh, I've got to share this on Saturday night. The message was directly to my little boy and to my heart. And the message said, I have to read it because I don't remember it. Say yes to who you are. You belong to yourself. Love and accept the unique jewel that is you. Learn to revere the animating spark that lives inside of you. There is nothing more important. As you hear this transformance, I'm hoping I have 5 more minutes because I have a little transformance I want to play.
Go for it, Gary.
All right. So think of this as another calibrating tool for stretching the envelope of what we think is possible online. Teresa and Julie and Dot Maver and I stretched the envelope. We had a fire with the crackling sounds on the beautiful, remember that, Julie and Teresa? It was like, holy smokes. There was like, where are the marshmallows? It's like we were there, So the issue is not what I'm going to do right now in order to give that experience to you. It's what you're going to do. So I want to invite you in this next transformance to drop in even deeper into your heart and soul, stretch the envelope of what you think is possible in the listening fire of this Zoom call. And we'll return and we'll pick up from what I'm sharing with you, which is a thing called a transformance with me and Teresa. And I just want to acknowledge that it's hard to drop in the midst of all this nonsense, externally and technologically and speed-wise. So let's give ourselves whatever we need to drop in deeper to yourself so that you are loving that unique jewel that is you. Here we go. This is a way to drop in. Just close your eyes and listen. How come it's not sharing? Hold on. Bear with me. Oh, no wonder. Here we go. Okay, found it. Here we go. Sarah McCrum and Gary jamming. Oh, sorry. Hold on. There we go. See what I mean? I don't know how I could stay in my heart with this stuff challenging me like this.
But you're doing it.
Oh,
You're absolutely doing it, brother.
I'm trying. Here we go. Hold on. I'm going to start clean.
Let's take a moment to be still. To drop into the stillness that lies deep within you. To let go of the drama, the excitement, and the busyness. Emerging into stillness, which is present within you. But so often too quiet to be heard. This stillness that I'm speaking of is always here. This stillness is quiet. It's very alive. It's a place to stop. This stillness is something we can share. A moment together. Where we stop. We rest. And the stillness becomes stronger. Can you feel it now? Deep within your being. Be still. Be still. Be still.
What if these Zoom calls were Spirit's way, the divine's orchestration way of having us lean in to the stillness together and feel closer to love and to the field in community? We'll pick it up from there. Thank you so much for allowing me to go so deep into the inner space of our hearts. And I love you all. And I'll see you in the next hour. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you. Between Johanna's beautiful bhakti music and then your stillness, it's, that's how we access. Our theme is love is the answer. And when we're in the midst of challenge, I'm bringing you back on camera with me, Gary. When we are challenged in life, and all of us have challenges, we do need to drop into that stillness usually to go back to love. If we're moving too fast, we're in reptile brain reaction usually. And to really slow down, drop into the stillness, that's where we can find the love and find the answer of love. So thank you so much.
Yeah, no, and this cycle of grieving, getting present to what is, and then dropping into, the embodiment of what's there, and then the love comes from the gratitude for what you've had, and then the joy and celebration follows the gratefulness. So we're in this constant cycle together that we get to support each other in all the different phases of coming in and out of life and death. And it's just a remarkable, remarkable miracle.
Beautiful. Gary's going to be back, but I do want to remind everybody that his website
Can you mute that little X so people can see the beautiful homepage?
Of course.
That X is so annoying. There.
I was going to do that, Gary. I just wanted to urge everybody first to sign up for your newsletter. So when you go to wisdomoftheworld.com, that's his website, wisdomoftheworld.com, that wonderful pop-up box is going to come up. And before you exit, do what I just did, which is put in your name and your email address so that Gary knows how to connect with you. And there are so many beautiful offerings on Gary's website. He's one of these guys who's just prolific with his music, his events, his collaborations. I mean, there you can see he's worked with all of our favorite luminaries. Almost every one of those people is somebody we love. So definitely join his community. He has music, he's got events. He truly provides wisdom of the world. Gary, we love you. You're such a precious part of our community. Thank you.
So grateful to be a part. So grateful to be a part of it. Love you guys.
All right, here is our other co-host, Jennifer, to introduce a very special presenter.
Thank you so much, Scott, and thank you, Gary. Gary, I heart you, my friend. I love your heart, I love your soul, and I love your music. If you haven't, I don't know if Gary promoted it, but he and Sarah McCrum, who was the last piece of music we heard from them, have a beautiful series online, and I know I personally love listening to it. So shout out to you, Gary. I love you, my friend, and keep making music and making our souls sing. Thank you. And up next, we have my dear friend, and I'm so lucky. I'm going to go ahead and spotlight him as well. Let's see here. We have Dr. James Miles, who is just a beautiful soul inside and out. Dr. James Miles began his career actually working for the Joint Chiefs of Staff. And I actually got to hear some really cool stories about that last weekend when I was in a HeartMath certification training with him. He started his career as a Marine Corps, so thank you so much for all the work you did for our country, James. And he has now spent the last, I don't know how many years, James, working on building resilient communities. He does deep work. He's worked with Enterprise Solutions. He's been a COO. And James and I were fortunate enough to get to know one another last year when I was hosting HeartMath's Global Coherence Initiative event. And James, from the moment we met, your heart, your soul, your spirit shines so bright. When James came on today, some of us hadn't met him before, and everybody right away said, "Who is this man, and why is his heart so big and his smile lights up the room?" And wait till you hear his voice. So, James, thank you so much for being here. You know I love you.
Love you too, and really happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation, Jennifer.
Of course, yeah. When we came up with the idea of love is the answer, I happened to be in a trainer certification with James last weekend, and I said, oh my gosh, who embodies love more than this astounding man who just radiates it, embodies all that love is. So, James, before we get into the Resilient Village work you're doing, maybe just share why love, why HeartMath, why is this your purpose, my friend?
Sure. So it's been a while. Just experiencing myself being led through so many different spaces. And in each of these spaces, whether we're looking at high command from a national perspective, global activity, going through theology, at the heart of all the transitions, challenges, and breakthroughs was this ideal of love. Whether we were arguing about it, trying to experience it, and I just knew that that was a place that I needed to spend more time. Even the tough lessons in it, always show something better. And that is what's led me to things like HeartMath and the toolkit that we'll talk about. Because you'll find that once you start radiating and connecting with that energy, it leads you to more of it. And so that's really been, whether I was in the Marine Corps, in the pulpit, or, in the research lab. It's always been some intersection of that. And it's just fascinating to see even what's happening today.
Yes, I love that so much, my friend. For anybody here who might not be familiar with HeartMath, maybe you could give a little entree into that, and then we'll talk about resilient villages.
So HeartMath is this wonderful community of just researchers, leaders, change agents. So for almost 30 years, they've been researching the power and the strength of the heart, that heart brain. And just in a nutshell, the heart talks to the brain more than the brain to the heart. And when you understand that and learn how to regulate from the heart space, you literally can change and transform almost everything from the inside out. You can learn how to set new baselines. You can bring down the impact of stress and even tap into intuition that up to that point may have been out of reach. And HeartMath has tools, techniques, training, and just so many offers, much of it free. Even the research out there available, just so people can go and just transform the world through heart.
Beautiful. And Dr. Laura has a question, but we'll get after it, Dr. Laura. Thank you so much for your question after we get into a little bit about resilient villages. So one of the things that astounded me, James, when we first connected is how you're out there working in the world. You're working with youths who are challenged. You're working with cities and organizations that are challenged with bringing heart. Talk to us about your resilient village work and how that's impacting the world.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for that opportunity. So in Resilient Village, our team, what we really look at is how can we help leaders, community leaders, organizational leaders, and those on these teams, how can we help them integrate coherence, self-regulation, what we can, physiological resilience. And it's a mouthful, but how can we just integrate this whole regulating from the heart into the tools that they use when they're creating plans, when they're working with groups, when they're trying to just make a difference in these communities. And so that's what we do. One of our team members and colleagues is one of the top violence interrupters. And so he goes in when there's been a shooting Is he and his group go in to help make sure there's not revenge shooting on top of it. And he's just a great guy. And then we have other groups that are leading some of our largest nonprofits in the area, and even some for-profits. And the ideal is, how can we help them really put these tools to use? And then we co-discover. One of the keys is that we don't come with the answers. We come with a process, and we partner so we can all discover new ways to address the challenges or tasks in front of us. So that's what we do.
I love that, James. And I want to share a little story that I didn't realize last week when we were in the Activating the Heart of Teams. Actually, I'd love to have you share it even better, is the exercise where our relationships matter. And it's not just the quantity, but the quality of our relationships. Do you want to share a little bit about that? I think
Sure.
that's so
So
important for all of us.
absolutely, Jennifer. So the research shows that, for example, they put people at the foot of a hill, and when they were standing there by themselves, then and they were able to kind of say how they perceived the steepness. The hill always was steeper, and the weight on their backpacks was always heavier when they were by themselves. But yet, when they had someone that they felt connected to, and they felt an affinity towards, and they were getting coherent together, now all of a sudden it was not so steep, and the weight wasn't so heavy, and they were able to move much more. And so that is just phenomenal to think about what it means to really understand how we can partner, particularly in a time like that we're in today. And so bringing people together, teaching the tools, and then helping them and getting coherent with them. It's not just telling them to do it, but doing it with them, sharing, encouraging them. All of a sudden we find now that we have leaders coming back and saying that they're seeing new possibilities for how they can do even some of the same things. And that's just amazing right now.
Yeah, it's so important, James. And you also touched on something that I think is a theme for all of us, whether you're studying heart math or whatever discipline you might be studying. The idea is the more we learn to self-regulate, Dr. Laura's question, and there's some chat going on in there, and Noelle shared as well, is, was there any heart in the Pentagon? And I think what I learned from you last weekend, and would love to hear your commentary on this, is that when we individually self-regulate, when we learn how to get ourselves into coherence, that actually gives whole organizations, countries, communities, cities, the capacity for greater resilience, because even if one of us is in coherence, we can have an impact on the coherence around us. So tell us a little bit about that. Was there any heart in the Pentagon? What was your experience with that?
So the Pentagon, like every place else, is made up of people. And now there's structures, there's some just amazing things and some heart-tearing things that those people deal with. But here's what I found: no matter how we look at it, there's always heart. Does it come in the package I'm looking for it in? Maybe not. And I love the stereotype breakers that, right when you'll see this hardcore, strict, just what we call high and tight, but just look everything in place, and you really sit and talk with them, you might find the biggest heart right there. And sometimes we find that some of those people, even when we least expect it, might be the one that was placed there to help stem the tide. And I saw that when I was stationed there, and now I've been away for so long, so I can't speak of what's going on in the Pentagon at all. But the ideal of some of my buddies who came after me and other things, where there's always heart. And then sometimes the question is, do we have the courage to display our heart in the way we're led to? And can we connect and support those who are daring to walk in heart? That's probably the bigger question on things like that Pentagon question that I find.
So how, James, how do we do that? I think that's the question, and that's how you're doing the incredible work you're doing with your Resilient Village and the other work you're doing. How do we bring heart when we don't want to? Like when we're just out there and we're like, you suck, you did this, or I disagree with you, we don't have the same view of this or that. How do we even begin to connect to our heart when we feel reactive and angry and enraged in some cases about how someone is, or how political whatever thing might be?
Such a great question. I'll give you a really quick story. So
Yeah.
I was working with two very senior, very accomplished leaders, and the job was to work with them and together create a model of collaboration that embeds coherence. Well, there's so many dynamics right now. There's so much change, and change brings fear, change brings resentment, change brings feelings of scarcity. And so these leaders were feeling like they were just at each other, angry, they were upset. And in fact, at one point, on a call with some other leaders and funders, they got into a fight. The worst place to have this kind of thing happen, because that's when you want
Yeah,
the
I know.
coming. And so I get a phone call that says this happened. And they're like, okay, because that's when they call you Dr. Miles. And the other time it's James. Okay, Dr. Miles, this happened. So anyway, we got together. We got together for dinner. And in that dinner, I had no clue what I was going to say. I just knew we were going to meet. And so, and just starting out with just general conversation, nothing tension. Well, the short version is, since we don't have that much time, is that by the end of that call, they had agreed to meet multiple times in the morning during the week to practice coherence together. I wouldn't have even had the guts to suggest that. But the idea, that's an example of this ideal of love. Then they came to an understanding that they aren't each other's problem. It's a broader climate, and let's start channeling more of an understanding of each other versus just all the problems. And then they came to another session that I was doing at a separate workshop, and I was really happy to see them come in there. And I was thinking, they've heard some of this, what are they going to do? Then they said, well, we're going to write a book together. So now here's what was interesting to me, and the push, and that's why I love the idea that when we come to these moments, not as kind of the know-it-all, but as another sojourner, then this ideal of love is the answer. So for example, the first thing, particularly in this day and time where so much is changing, the first thing is, can I start to love myself? Because then it gives me a richer base to work with. Then the next one is, can I bring love into how I see the other? It doesn't mean everything's going to be better. It doesn't mean I'm going to even like you. But it just means that I can bring love into the equation, and I might just see something I wouldn't have seen before. And all of a sudden, new possibilities. And then the third thing is, can I love the fact that there are possibilities that can come up? Because a lot of times when you get in these groups that Virginia Village team works with, some people come to our training or come to the session and they're like, well, I already know. I already got it. I said, well, can we just tap into this space where we allow possibility? And that's when love gets a little more rugged and enduring. It becomes more healing. It's not just this nice, soft, comfortable thing. You really get in there and realize that, oh my goodness, in all those levels, loving myself, loving the other, and loving possibilities that I might even be aware of. Now, all of a sudden, we can then come back at, oh, what was that issue again? Maybe not as much of an issue. Or just like the research we talked about, that hill is not so steep anymore. I've got partners that I didn't realize I had. And so those are the kinds of discoveries that we work on. And at the core of it is a love that we can put action to. We call it praxis, where theory and action come together. And we believe in the possibilities. Those two leaders are just on a whole nother thing. And at that point, I became the student of them. And I love it. So now, all of a sudden, the one who's coming in to facilitate, I'm the student. And now it's like, well, where do you want to go with this? Let's now start creating, setting up templates that we can share with others. What did that feel like for you? Now that love dynamic takes on really meaty, steps and handles and tools that we didn't have in the beginning.
I love that, James. And Marem, I hope I'm pronouncing that right in the chat, just said something so profound and deep, which is a key tenet of HeartMath. It's not enough to know it. You have to feel it. And so, James, on that note, before we go into your website, would you mind taking us through a quick heart-focused breathing? I know I'm putting you on the spot here.
Oh, no,
So we can
absolutely.
all
Love it. Let's
drop
do
into
it.
a little coherence. So James is going to take us through a heart math technique called
Absolutely. And right before we go into it, I want you to think about an experience that was really uplifting for you. And don't just think about it. I want you to feel it. I want you to remember that feeling. And just remember it. We're going to call on it in a minute. So here we go.
Perfect.
Focus your attention in the area of the heart. Imagine your breath is flowing in and out of your heart or chest area, breathing a little slower and deeper than usual. Find an easy rhythm that's comfortable. Make a sincere attempt to experience a regenerative feeling, such as appreciation or care for someone or something in your life. Just breathe in that feeling. Take it fully in and then just breathe out. Thank you so much.
Thank you, James. I don't know about any of you, show of hands, how many of you feel a little quieter and stiller and more spacious? I know I do. Beautiful. My beloved friend, I adore you. I cherish you. You are one of the most heart-filled beings that I've ever met in my life. And I just encourage you, please keep doing the good work. Go out there, continue transforming communities and leaders. I mean, the work you're doing is impacting so many people. We'd love to promote what you're doing. Scott, I'll invite you back on, my friend, so we can promote what James is doing, unless you'd like me to pull up his website.
I got it right here. James, you mentioned a group that I had not heard of before, and violence preventers. Was that what the word that?
Violence interrupters.
Violence interrupters.
Yes.
Before I go to your website, I haven't heard of that.
It's been around for quite a while. In fact, it's taken on different forms, and usually what they do is they hire and bring in a team of people who are familiar with the streets. They're familiar with the neighborhoods, and when there's been a death, usually through some type of violence inflicted by another, they go in. In fact, sometimes they're going right at that hospital, right at that jail or wherever. And what they do is they meet with the family, they meet with those involved to help prevent revenge killing. And this is this amazing group of people. And it's something to just know that there are folks who are doing this and understand that and are successful in doing it.
Well, I'll follow up with you privately because I'd love to find them. We've had guardian angels on our show.
Sure.
And I would love to, because that's the first time I've heard of that.
I'd love to make the connection. We have one of the top people in it.
All right. Thank you. All right. Now back to connections. This is the beautiful work that we heard a little bit about, the Resilient Village. And so as I scroll down, tell us a little bit about what you're going to be doing.
Yeah, so this is our website. Now, it's a website. It's new, so be patient with it. But this is our website, and what you can see here, as you scroll down, you'll see some of the programs. So, for example, our Resilient Leaders program is where we work with the community and corporate leaders and others. Our Smart Revolutionary, that was birthed through a lot of the social and civil unrest. We started working with people to help them understand how you could bring about systems change through coherence. And then we have the Resilient Youth. It's a great opportunity. We work with kids, mostly high school, some elementary, and we teach them self-regulation. Then they have to create a business or a program that's going to produce beneficial change in their community. They pitch the ideas. It's really exciting. Then our Ecotone series is when we do intercultural and cross-cultural work across communities, both internationally and nationally. And then we have our partner series, whether we're looking at business partners or intimate partners. What does it mean to really bring this toolkit in and understand it? And then this is our work with the diaspora. It was birthed out of Ghana, And what we do here is we actually bring about his heritage, education, art, research, and transformation, where we really understand our history together and explore allyship. We explore what it really means to come together and see each other moving forward. So those are the programs that I wanted you to know about, and any of those of interest, reach out to me and we can have a chance to chat about it. Would love to do that.
Fantastic. And again, that website is
ResilientVillage.net.
Resilient. Yeah.
Village.net.
And I'll put it in the chat box, and I'll put it in the chat box one more time. Thank you so much, Dr. Miles. It's
Thank you so
really
much.
an honor to meet you. And once again, Jennifer Hill, she always brings in the most amazing presenters. Thank you so much, Jennifer.
She's an amazing soul.
All right. Well,
Oh, I love you, my friend.
Isn't
You're
she?
both amazing souls.
Yeah.
very, very bright
Thank you,
light.
James.
Very
It's great
bright
to be with
light.
you, my friend.
All right. Well, if I can find Teresa, there she
I'm
is.
here.
Okay, here's Teresa.
Yeah, I'm
more
here.
music.
I've come inside. You see a different background. I'm also on my phone because my internet was a little shaky there. So maybe I might look a little funny on my camera, but you can hear my voice. And I want to bring in Theo Grace. He's who we're going to bring up next. But I also wanted to just say, one, Jennifer, it's always lovely to have you as a co-host. And I do always love the wonderful friends that you bring. And James, this is probably about the third time I've heard you speak, and we just have to have more of you. You know, we need more James around, and bring more people into what you're doing, because it's important to work with leaders who are really struggling, that want to make a difference, and they can't quite even find their breath, you know, enough to slow down so that they can connect with their heart, and that's such an important thing. And so thank you both. That was super, super beautiful. And I just really want us to take a moment with our breath, as James was saying. One of our Pulse teammates who is in Kiev, so he's been in the war, he's been in the face, all of these things happening, and he's been really working hard to keep choosing love in the face of a lot of challenges. And one of the things that he's been doing, and I have to say, he looks so radiant these days, which is amazing if he's in the middle of the war. And he said he just started to pay attention to breathing. And he said he started to notice that as he breathed, all of the different amazing feelings that he was having in his body just as a result of breathing, right? More relaxed, more available, all of these kind of wonderful sensations started to arise. And he said the more that he just focused on giving himself the joy that comes from breathing, the more his life started to reflect the feelings that the breathing was evoking in the middle of the war. So it's really important that we actually feel the bottom of our feet and focus on our breath and slow down just enough so that we can be present to whatever's emerging, challenging, wonderful, and then choose love in the face of whatever we're facing. And we can't do that unless we're breathing and relaxing and opening. So Theo, are you there? I'd love to bring Theo on.
You got it.
I am so here. I am so much more here than I was on the beginning of the call. I'm just so blown away by everyone's just amazing. Like, I feel so in my heart now. I feel so present and coherent. It's such a wonderful thing to witness myself go, you know, deeper into the present moment, from Johanna to Gary to James. Like, oh my, just amazing. Just thank you so much for everyone's sharing. It's beautiful. So I feel really here. I feel really available.
Well, I'm just going to let you have it. Theo is one of my favorite musicians, men on the planet. His expression and transmission of love embodied, and not just the sweet parts, but like the deep, tender parts that actually need our care in order to rise. You just embody it so beautifully, Theo. So I would love offer us up into your loving arms and see what you have to share with us.
Thank you so much, T. Yeah, so we just keep going. It's the same moment. It's the same song that's been playing since before this universe began. And it's the same breath that we're breathing in and out our hearts. Just coming into that alignment deeper with ourself and with this one song that the universe is singing through us. And I received this song from the universe about 10 years ago. And it's a very special prayer. And I would love to invite you to feel it and to just keep breathing into your heart and feeling your soul and feeling your heart and feeling the heart of humanity that is living this prayer of love. That is, we're all wanting to live with so much heart. We want to really live fully, you know? And there's all these wounds and all these ancient pains that we're working out. So this is a prayer, and I offer it with gratitude and praise for humanity. We are the seeds of the earth, in the midst of a rebirth. We are the young and the old, and the story's not yet told. We've come from afar, beyond the stars, and we've come to celebrate everything we are. And so we pray for the end of slavery. We pray for the end of suffering. We pray for the end of all the fighting. Finally, finally, finally. I declare everyone, everywhere, be set free from the fear and the pain and the shame we release. No longer prisoners in our very own minds. No longer struggling and fighting to survive. We revive to find the keys within our reach, and now we thrive. Sharing everything we need. We are free from the poverty. There's no more need for scarcity. There's more than enough for you and me, just like the air we breathe in and breathe out those stale emotions that just need some good old-fashioned composting. Yeah, break it back down into earth. 'Cause everybody here knows how to have a rebirth. You throw a seed in the mother fertile dirt and watch the life give life, give life, give life, give life, giving life. 'Cause there is only one event here, and it's clear once you can hear the one song. Some call it the universe. We're all singing the one song. We're all singing the you and I verse. Some call it God, all that is, was, or will ever be. Whatever it is, I know that it's within you and me, so we're gonna party. Yeah, straight into infinity, so you can shout hip hop, hooray, yee-haw, and wee all at the same time. We shine in the divine mind, which makes all of your struggle and sorrow connected to mine. So bust open those judgments with patience. Pour some love and understanding into the painful places, 'cause we're healing it. Yeah, we're gonna decompose our we're gonna reintegrate and reintegrate every single way we live by synergizing new art, making sparks in the dark with the fire in our heart bursting into who we are. Do you ever feel like you're about to collapse and explode? Well, that's the perfect curve of the divine ratio. So fold into the twinings and spiralings of a golden old yet fresh new moment, ready to love and behold. You're like a newborn baby in his grandpa's arms, in the light just arriving from a distant star. It's everywhere we are once we look, even in a simple complex melody and hook called the one song. Some call it the universe. We're all singing the one song. We're all singing the you and I verse. Well, here's the last verse. But it really just keeps on going. And the one thing that never ever stops flowing is awareness. Are you aware of it? It's never left, never will. Always full and always still. And it's amazing. Eternally unchanging, holding every single thing we can possibly imagine in our experience. Sinking just under the surface as we open these moments up, and dance as much as you can. Trust in the design, it's perfect like you and I. Dance as much as you can. Trust in the divine, it's perfect like you and I. All we're saying is we can say yes. All we're saying is we can say yes to the one song. Yeah. Say yes to the universe. Say yes to the one song. Say yes to the you and I verse. Oh, it's a one song. Sing along. Some call it the universe. We're all singing the one song. We're all singing the you and I verse. The she verse, the he verse, the me verse, the you verse, the we verse, the we verse. Yes, it takes all of us and it goes on and on and on and on and on. On and on and on and on and on. And on and on and on and on and on. On and on and on and on and on and on and oh, oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, oh, oh. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. It takes Gene to sing this song. It takes Scott to sing this song. It takes Suzanne to sing this song. It takes Nana, Queenie, Lawrence to sing this song. Yeah, 'cause it goes on and on and on and on and on. On and on and on and on and on. On and on and on and on and on. On and on. And I could sing this song forever. And we will, because it just keeps going. So it's really not over, but I'm gonna stop this part here. Thank you, everyone. That was so sweet to just see your faces and see people dancing and feel us in it.
Wow,
That was just wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And yeah, the chat box and everything, just the lyrics are so beautiful, and you have an ability to just bring us all together and to weave all of our hearts together. It's really quite special. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, everyone.
I put it in the chat box, but I do want people to know that all things Theo Grace can be found on biglink.to/Theo Grace. And Theo, tell us a little bit about some of the things you've got going. And
yeah, so I just love making music. It's just such medicine, and I love making songs. I love making down-tempo music and electronic music to like get us in our bodies, and also like meditation music. And so I have at this link, you'll see the top stuff is like some releases that's more electronic music that I've released recently. And I also produce music for meditations. So if you want music like made for meditations you're doing or anything you're doing, I love doing that and collaborating with people. And you can click the Theo Grace Music Production link, which is the third one down. And then if you want to hear some more of the songs, like the one song, you can click the one that's highlighted in blue down there. That's Theo Grace Conscious Acoustic Pop Music. And that'll take you to my Bandcamp, which I'm in the process of recording a bunch of new versions. All the versions that you'll find there, a lot of them are about 10 years old, and I've grown a lot as an artist, and I'm really excited to put a new acoustic album out, and I'm going to be creating that over the next few months and putting that out. So if you want to stay tuned with that, you can sign up for you can follow me on Bandcamp, and I'll shoot you an email when that comes out. So lots more stuff, but I'll leave it there, and I'll pass it back to T. Thank you.
Well, and we'll get more of you, Theo. We'll get more of you. And some of you might not know, but you, Theo, in things like the Gene Keys behind Richard Rudd's meditations. There's been lots of things that he's been involved in. So we'd love to have more of you, Theo, tonight.
Yeah, see you soon.
Thank you so much, Theo. Thank you. Thank you, Teresa. Once again, Teresa brings down all these beautiful, beautiful people. You know, I want to say about Theo's music, I'm pretty picky about the meditation tapes that I listen to, or audios, because I have access to a lot. And actually, my favorite ones are by a friend of mine named Prema Gaia. She's been on the show. And Theo did all the background music for it, and it's perfect. And I listen to probably 3 or 4 times a week. I listen to the Prema Gaia audios. One is for abundance, one is for just raising the vibration, or I guess I should do it this way. And Theo's music is background music for it. So if any of you are doing meditation tapes, or you're wanting ambient, beautiful music, Theo, you do such a beautiful job with that. So I think a lot of the people who watch this show are, meditation teachers and people like that. So that's a beautiful service he provides, and I highly recommend it from my very direct personal experience.
Thanks, Scott. Yeah. And if people want to hear the more ambient music, they can search for Entheo, Entheo, and you'll find that online.
Great. Thank you. All right. Well, we're going to do just a few Global Peace Tribe announcements. Going back a week, of course, for those of you who are watching, you were very aware that our beloved Celestine Star passed away. And I've got a few announcements about that. First off, there's a new Facebook group. I'll put the link into the page, into our chat box. But for anybody who just wants to kind of stay in touch with what's going on, our friend Leah Sasloff, she was on the show last week, has put together this beautiful opportunity for us just to kind of share our love, share our memories, and also announcements about some of the many things that are taking place to continue to honor Celestine. So I definitely encourage you to all go there. Again, it's a Facebook group. I'll put the link into our chat box after I've done these announcements. And kind of the first next, if you will, celebration in person is going to be put on by our friend Christy Michaels. Again, Christy's been on the show many, many times. And she and Celestine were planning, every year they do the Magdalene Feast Day, celebrating Mary Magdalene. And so they were planning on, they'd already booked this location and they had planned an event. And then, of course, Celestine very suddenly passed away. So this is a live event. This is not online. So for those of you in the Bay Area, next Friday, July 22nd, from 12:30 to 4 p.m., it'll be live at Stafford Lake, which is in the East Bay. Christine Toulis, you heard her last week, play harp, and many, many others are going to be there. Elizabeth Kelly is kind of the primary presenter, and Elizabeth Kelly is an extraordinary woman. Again, she's been on the show, and she has really researched all about Mary Magdalene. She's generally considered one of the world's top scholars about Mary Magdalene. So anyway, all the information on that could be found at gospelofmarymagdalene.info. gospelofmarymagdalene.info, next Friday, the 22nd. And then we have come up with a date for a big online memorial celebration. I'll be co-hosting it with Deborah Giusti and with Lysandra, who is Celestine's daughter. And it's going to be August the 7th from 1 till 5 p.m. That's a Sunday, 1 till 5 p.m. Pacific time, 4 till 9 East Coast. And then in the evening for people like Jennifer.
Okay, so to go back to what Scott was saying, I think you just froze there for a moment. I don't unfortunately have the link there, but I'm sure. Oh, there we go. You're back with us, my friend.
Oh, I didn't even know that I had left. Hopefully, gosh, how much did I miss?
No, just the end when you were starting to say my time zone. You said for people in Jennifer's time zone, and then that's where we lost you.
Okay, great. Anyway, so if you are interested in coming to the live event, it'll be in Marin County at the Marin Art and Garden Center in Ross, that's in Marin, or you can watch it live on all of the regular places that we broadcast to. It'll be on all Global Peace Tribe, YouTube channel, Love Coach Academy, all the regular ones that we do. So there's what's up to date on Celestine. She continues to come and visit many of us, and I invite any of you that want to experience her, just open your heart and invite her in. She's a very available angel at this time. Last announcement for now, because I'd like people to think about it and start private messaging me, is next weekend I am going to take 2 nights off. I'm going to take Friday night and Saturday night off, but you all said you would still come to shows if I'm showing replays. So I'm going to pick a couple of wonderful replays of a previous Straight Talk that Trish and I did on Friday night and a previous Saturday Night Alive. So feel free to put into the chat box if there's a particular Saturday Night Alive that you really remember, or a particular topic that you'd really like to see next weekend. Is it UFOs? Is it crop circles? Is it near-death experiences? Is it relationships? Let us know. Let me know what you're really excited about. And if I see a consensus, I will certainly consider that as I choose which full episode of Straight Talk and what full episode of Saturday Night Live I'll play next Friday and Saturday night. And I will be back to do a new original live Sacred Sunday show a week from tomorrow. So those are our Global Peace Tribe announcements for now. There are a couple more that I'll do later on in the show, but definitely put it in. You can either private message me on Facebook, or you can put in the chat box and I'll take a look to see what people are coming up with. All right. We are now ready for more music. What a beautiful night of music we're having. And we're going to go back to our beloved Johanna Beekman. And Johanna, what do you got for us?
Well, I thought I'd sing a song called Beyond Love. It's a personal empowerment chant from the Sikh tradition, translated into a song. So part of the translation is the chorus. And that's beyond birth, beyond color, beyond shape, beyond doubt, beyond love is only love. So you can sing that with me if you'd like to pray with me for peace through these practices of singing and being together. And it's actually a duet on my album Beyond Love with my producer, longtime producer and friend, Ben Leinbach. And we're working on, we both just got into the Grammys Academy, and we're creating a chant category. So actually within New Age now, there's a genre for all of my beloved chant friends and myself, thanks to Dave Stringer. So we're working on a collaborative yoga album, though, that being said, with no mantra in it. So this is kind of a taste of that. I'm doing it just acoustic with my guitar today. So I think I played it with backing tracks before. So look out for Yoga Soundtracks Volume 2. I think in the next year. We just decided we're finally birthing the pandemic project. So beyond birth, beyond color, beyond shape, beyond doubt, beyond love is only love. Beyond birth, beyond color, beyond beyond shape, beyond doubt, beyond love, beyond love, beyond love is only love, only love, love, love. So, any difficulties, any relating miscommunications that have happened, I like to give them to this space. There's always space for it. Because beyond birth, beyond color, beyond shape, beyond doubt, beyond love is only love. So, any conflict all roots back to the love that's always available within and without. And we can transmute it. We can compost it, if you will, like Theo's song said, I believe somewhere in there. Compost those dis-eases back into source, back into love, where they came from, right? Because if we didn't care, we wouldn't care. So love is the answer, as we've all been saying. Let's sing that together if you'd like. Beyond birth, beyond color, beyond color, beyond shape, beyond doubt, beyond shape, beyond doubt, beyond love, beyond love, beyond love is only love, only love, 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 love. Ache, ale, abe, abe, abu, aju, anasaka, sakanja, bunch, alakabaka, akadaya, alakabaka, anamakam, akayata, nate, brahmate, ajoni, amoni, narage, narange, narupe, narege, akaramana, paramana, ganje, alege, beyond birth, beyond color, beyond shape, beyond doubt, beyond love, beyond love, beyond love is only love, only love, 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 love. Anamakam, agada, nate, pramate, ajoni, hamoni, narage, narange, narupe, narege, akarman, brahman, ganje, alege, anamakam, agada, nate, pramate, ajoni, hamoni, narage, narange, narupe, narege, akarman, brahman, ganje, alege, beyond birth, beyond color, beyond shape, beyond doubt, beyond love, 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 ooh.
Mm. Of course, so many comments are coming in, Johanna, about your beautiful voice. But I'm wondering if anybody else noticed that a couple times when she was just singing the one word love, how her blue eyes would just like light up. And it was like the love was coming out of your eyes. I mean, you got to go back and watch the replay, Johanna. It was really so much love flowing through you, through your voice, but also through those beautiful blue eyes of yours. So I want to remind people that there's several ways to connect with her. First and foremost, wouldn't it be wonderful to be with her in person? Well, it can happen. Now, of course, we've talked about the festival, and we'll talk about that one more time.
So we'll talk about the festival one more
But
time.
tell Topanga.
There you are.
Oh,
We lost you for a moment, Scott.
tell us about what you're doing on Friday, July 29th in person in Topanga.
Aha, yes. So I'm heading down to my, it seems like quarterly home in Topanga Canyon, just above Los Angeles. I manifested a little spot where I can studio or work, and it's just down the street from this incredible venue where my friends Govindas and Radha have been leading kirtans under the stars on this beautiful yoga deck at this property that is just epically grounded in nature. And it's just outside of Los Angeles, so that's obviously kind of hard to find sometimes when you're in that area. So it's a real blessing to be offering not only sacred music in that temple space, but also with some people that I really look up to in the yoga and the kirtan community. Donna Delori, who is a sacred musician in her own right. We did a duet on one of my albums, but also she sang with Madonna for like 20 years. This woman has chops. She's incredible, and I think on her bio says she's the queen of chant and conscious music or something like that. So, she really does come by that naturally as well. And so she's going to be headlining, and an incredible yoga teacher, Sienna Sherman, who's quite famous internationally, is blessing us with her presence. Also, Masood Ali Khan. They were in Topanga Canyon living for a long time. Now they have a house in LA. But they're going to be doing an incredible, it's a full moon. So we're going to be doing a full moon ceremony with Sienna and Masood and live music and other artists, Vaidehi, and so it's going to be an incredible offering with maybe a dozen of us that are going to end up sliding into the side that we're sharing with you on the stage, but you are part of the performance as well. So as we sing like we do, we sing together. So if you're anywhere near there, come by, but if not, come in September, and it will be just as beautiful and maybe a little bit more centrally located, September 15th through 18th.
Fantastic. And again, put in your calendars live 4 weeks from tonight, Saturday night, August 13. Johanna will be co-hosting with me, and we'll have a lot of the wonderful artists with us. Probably Donna. Donna's a regular on the show.
Yeah.
Lisa Stowe, many others. One last
Jaya
thing.
Lakshmi and I are doing an in-house retreat up here in Oregon, actually, that weekend. So we're going to, I think, maybe have her in person here in my studio
Great.
on Saturday night. So
Fabulous. We love Jaya Lakshmi.
Oh yeah, speaking of inspirations.
And we love Johanna.
Oh, thank you, Scott.
and-
It's always lovely to be with you.
And for those of you who want her music, and you don't want to have to wait until the next time she's on the show, or you can't get to one of the live events, her website is johannasings.com. johannasings.com. And she has a lot of wonderful music available there. So I always love the Mantra Soul and Heartbeats one. She's played that song before for us. So anyway, Johanna, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Look
Yeah,
forward to
check
seeing
my
you.
Instagram as well for my tour schedule. There are a few other events. There's a Shanti Fest in Utah coming up at the beginning of August. If anyone wants to saunter over there, it's going to be pretty amazing.
And your handle on Instagram is?
That's Johanna Beekman. Johanna Beekman Music and Yoga. That's what I do. It's pretty easy to remember. So I look forward to seeing you there and out and about. Bless you all, family.
Great. Thank you so much, Johanna. And I'm turning it over to wonderful Jennifer to introduce one of our favorite luminaries. This is like an all-star night. So anyway, I'm excited. Take it away, Jennifer.
Thank you, Scott, and thank you so much, Johanna. It's just such a pleasure to be in the spirit of everyone today. You and Gary and Theo, all of the music is just filling our hearts. I really feel the radiance, like Theo said, as we're moving through the evening, our hearts are more and more fulfilled. And I know it's fulfilled for me because it's about 3:44 a.m. my time in London. So I couldn't do this without all the love and joy I feel from each and every one of you. So deep blessings and gratitude to all our incredible guests and musicians, and to all of you out there. Really, this show is about you. That's why our beloved Scott keeps doing this weekend after weekend, is because of all the love that you all show us. So deep gratitude. And speaking of deep gratitude, I am so grateful to get to introduce you to a dear friend of mine, Dr. Julie Kroll, who I've had the privilege and honor of getting to know through the Unitive Narrative Project that she and Teresa and I and several others are working and collaborating on. In fact, I think Gary will be involved in that soon too. So Dr. Julie Kroll has so many wonderful things happening. She is the founder of Good of the Whole. She is a Nautilus award-winning author. She is a speaker. She is the host of the Dr. Julie Show, All Things Connected. She's an evolutionary leader, along with Scott Katamas and Teresa and I and several others, and Gary, of course, as well. And Dr. Julie, we love you. You are just a beautiful soul who is here to bring the planet together. And knowing you now, as I've been lucky enough to know you over the last several months, I really truly feel that you are a catalyst for the good of the whole and for bringing that to all of humanity. So deeply grateful to have you here with us, and, handing it over to you, my friend.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you. What a beautiful thing to say, and a beautiful intro. That was incredible. Thank you. And I just want to acknowledge you for your commitment to this whole movement and staying up tonight, just because you are the spokesperson for Love is the Answer. I love this, and here you are. So bless you, bless you. I love this topic.
Love you, my friend.
Okay, and so I'm going to share a story, because love is the answer is such a beautiful topic. And I have my grandchildren with me here this weekend, and Friday night we were driving to the lake, and we're in the car, and 20 minutes from home, and we come to a town in Nebraska called Kearney. And my granddaughter says, "Oh, is this Kearney, Papa?" And Papa says, "You know what Kearney is?" And she goes, "Yeah, Kearney's my favorite place in the world." And we both just kind of chuckled and went, "Oh, that's cool." And she goes, "But I kind of like the lake too. The lake is one of my favorite places in the world." And we said, "Oh, that's good. We're on our way to the lake. So this is a really good thing." And then she said, "But it was kind of fun to get on the airplane and go to the ocean with you and Papa, Grandma." And we went to California. I said, "Yeah." She goes, "California is one of my favorite places in the world." And we said, "Awesome. That was fun, wasn't it?" And she said, "Yeah. And now we're going to get on a plane in a month and go to New Jersey." And she's 4 years old. She's so precocious. And so we're listening to her, and she's like, "Yes, I love New Jersey, and I haven't even been there yet." She said, "Grandma, I just love the world." And I said, "You love the world?" She said, "I just love the world." And I want to fast forward, because I want to bring you into the love for the world with this theme tonight. So tonight we were getting bath ready, and I had showered. We'd been at the lake, and I showered and got ready for this show, and we were giving them the bath, and I went down, and she goes, "Grandma, you look beautiful." And I said, "Thanks, Cooper." And she said, "Why are you looking so beautiful?" And I said, "Well, I'm going to be on a show, and I'm going to tell them how you taught us how to love the world." She goes, "Oh, Grandma, tell them how to love the world. Everyone needs to love the world." And I said, "I will, Cooper." So this is for Cooper tonight. Hopefully, I'm going to inspire you with just a few words here to pull this thread through on love is the answer. Several years back with Good of the Whole, we had a lot going on the planet, just like we still do. And one of my favorite authors at the time was Kathleen McGowan. She's the author of The Book of Love and The Expected One, and you probably have heard of Kathleen McGowan. And there was a quote from Kathleen, which says, "There is no problem for which the instruction to love more is not the solution." I'm going to read that to you again one more time, but I just want to let you know that instruction to love more inspired us to do this Love More campaign, and it spread like fire. Everybody was in their Love More shirts and their Love More signs, and it was a beautiful campaign of loving more. So the quote says, "There's no problem for which the instruction to love more is not the solution." We've talked a lot tonight about our personal problems and our interpersonal problems. And just imagine that phrase, no matter what's going on in your personal life right now, take that in. Even Gary was talking about loving that child within and loving that divine spark. Take that piece in for a minute and imagine that any problem that you may have, just breathe into that. The instruction to love more is the solution. And then I want us to branch it out, as we also talked about communities. And even in Theo's song, we prayed for a lot of things in Theo's song. And in the talk before, we talked about social, cultural problems. Think around, what is breaking your heart? Look around the world in our cultural differences, in our social differences, and just imagine whatever's coming to your heart right now, that problem with the instruction to love more can be resolved. Imagine that. Every social problem, every social ill, racism, violence. Think about all the things going on the planet. We believe we're polarized, but I want to bring in one more element here, because the illusion of separation is an underpinning on almost every problem that we're thinking of right now. It's just the illusion of separation, and it's not real. So thinking of that in that way, unitive consciousness is an important piece of this solution as well. And I want to bring in our friend, who's a friend of the show, Jude Currivan, who talks about the science of unity is the science of love. And that's kind of exciting. And she talks about the science of unity and all the new breakthroughs in consciousness and what we're learning about ourselves. So I just want to pull this through one deeper level for us. We talked about personal, we talked about cultural healing, and now think about our global healing and our beautiful planet. Because the answer of loving more for our beautiful world is clearly the one thing that we all can relate to, especially here tonight. We've been set up. We have beautiful music. We have beautiful, there's so many amazing things that have been said about love. So if there's no problem for which the instruction to love more is not the solution, even our climate crisis, it's time for us to fall in love with the world. Fall in love, just like we do for our beloved, just like I do for my 4-year-old granddaughter. I love her so much. We need to love Mama Earth that much. Fall in love with all of her elements. Come into right relationship with the world. Here we have people all over the planet with us tonight. We're in all different kinds of terrains, different climates. We're mountainous, we're ocean, we're desert, we're in the middle of nowhere, like I am. I'm in the middle of nowhere. People don't even know where I live. I live in a little tiny town in the middle of Nebraska. It's time to fall in love with the world, fall in love with Earth, fall in love with the planet. And if Kathleen McGowan's quote has inspired you, please let little Cooper's inspiration inspire you as well tonight. And let's all do this together and fall in love with the world. And I'm just going to leave you with that, because it's a beautiful night to fall in love with the world together.
Julie,
Thanks, Jennifer.
Those are such beautiful quotes and simple reminders. And I'm so great. I always appreciate, watching you, whether it's my show or somebody else's show. You bring so much wisdom. And for anybody who isn't familiar with Julie, she has been doing this for a long time. She's had the Dr. Julie show for 13 years, is it, Julie?
Well, we're going on 10.
10.
Going on 10, yep.
And it's remarkable, all the incredible people she's had on the show, from Joe Dispenza to Bruce Lipton to Barbara Marx Hubbard before she passed, Andrew Harvey, Neil Donald Walsh, Marianne, all of our favorites are friends of hers and have been on the show. So if you go to juliekrull.com, and you can go and, I guess, access some of the archives and hear from some of those amazing people. And then you've got something new coming up soon. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we're changing the platform for the Dr. Julie show. And so that page is actually going to change really soon. And we're going to kind of bring some fun new elements to the Dr. Julie show and really elevate that a little bit more in a new way. And we're also going to initiate a really fun series coming up this fall, other than the unitive narrative and other things we're doing for unitive consciousness. We're going to do a series on normalizing the non-ordinary states of consciousness. And we're bringing in a whole book series and several experts. It's going to be a really fun series. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you so much, Julie. And I will turn it over to Teresa and Jennifer.
Yeah, thank you, Julie. We love you, and hearing from Cooper, it just opens your heart up with joy to hear the love. I mean, how much can we learn from the little ones? When my nephew was, we were worried about him and he had to have his blood drawn, when he said to my mom the other day, "Grandma, am I going to die right now?" And my mom said, "No, sweetheart, you're going to be okay." And kids are just so open and honest, and I think we can literally learn everything we need to learn from children if we see the world through their eyes. So thank you for sharing that. That was so beautiful, Julie. I love you.
Thank you. Love you too.
Love the world.
Just love the world.
Love the world. I love that. Thank you, Julie. I love you so much. We're doing a lot of partnering, Good of the Whole, Islands of Coherence, joining our genius together to spread more love on the planet. I want to bring Theo back on, Theo Grace. We get to hear a little bit more music, but I also want to say that Theo and his family, Amelie, who we're going to have on our Cultivating Coherence and Community Fireside Chat on Monday, and their son Bija, you guys are getting ready to do a move.
Yeah.
And like a whole new life is emerging. And so I just want to invite everybody that's on the call tonight, as we're listening to this next song and taking in your heart and love, is to send you and your family on your way, new adventure with so much grace, and may you be astonished at what is on the other side of this little journey for you. Yeah, I love
Oh, thank you, T. Appreciate that. It's a big leap from our life here in Portland to Boulder, Colorado, which is a very rich and beautiful community of so much happening there. So we're really excited, and it's a big thing because we've been here for 10 years. So thank you for that. Oh my gosh, I have so many songs that are just like dancing around, and I'm just gonna I gotta pick one. I want to play them all, but I think this one is speaking to me and just wants to come through because it's about this vision and this thing that we're longing for, all these things that we want in our life, and the main one being love, which is why the answer is love. And it's called We Already Are, and it's a little song of remembrance, a little reminder for myself and for us all that we already are the deepest things that we want, the deepest things that we seek, and yet here we are on the journey of life, the hero's journey to embody it and to share it and to realize it in this world. So here we go. Chasing a world just out of reach, looking up high when it's underneath, trying to find what I can't see. Show me a sign and remind me life's about the journey, life's about the love. How much can we take? Can we rise above everything we're not to be, everything we are? The truth is inside. If we only look, we'll find. The proof is inside. If we really look, we'll be surprised. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I wanna live in a world where everyone is free to be what we want, something worth loving. Well, we already are. How did we ever forget? Yes, we already are. Can you see it yet? Filling the void never satisfies. The shadows take flight on the outside. And the stories we tell go far and wide. In heaven or hell, we chose the ride. The journey, life's about the love. How much can we take? Can we rise above everything we're not to be, everything we are? The truth is inside. If we only look, we'll find. Yeah. The proof is inside. If we really look, we'll be surprised. Yeah, yeah. Everyone is free, yeah, to be what we want, something worth loving. Well, we already are, yeah. How did we ever forget? Well, we already are. what you wanna be, what you wanna see, what you wanna be. Yeah, we can be what we wanna see, what we wanna be, what we wanna see. Oh, we can be what we wanna see, what we wanna see, what we wanna be. Oh, we can be what we wanna see. And be what we see, what we wanna be what we wanna be. What is it? Is it a chicken or is it an egg? I don't know. We're all doing it at the same time. It's all happening at once. So see it in your mind. See the world you want to create. See the world we want to create. See the life you want to live for yourself. And see the person you want to become. And breathe into that vision. Breathe into that feeling. Because I used to be really, really shy and really, really scared. And sometimes I am. But for God knows how, thanks to Mother Teresa Collins and so many other people showing me the way and helping us to become the people that, you know, all our beloveds, they see us, you know, they see our hearts. And sometimes we have such a hard time seeing ourselves and seeing our own light and letting that light out. And so just keep seeing it. Seeing the person you want to be and being the person you want to see. And sing it with me. I can be what I want to... Wait, how's it go? I can be what I want to see, what I want to be, what I want to see. Yes, I can see what I want to be, what I want to see, what I want to be. Yes, I can be what I want to see and see what I want to be. 'Cause we already are. How did we ever forget? Oh, we already are. Can you see it yet? Oh, we already are. How did we ever forget? Yes, we already are. Oh, yeah.
Let's all twinkle. Theo, I've got the gallery view on, so you can see all these beautiful Global Peace Tribe friends. Look at all that love coming through.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are going to have so much fun on your journey. It's going to be so good, so beautiful. Yeah.
Thanks, T. Yeah.
Love you.
Love you too.
Yeah. We need more Theo in the world, right, guys? We need to hear more from this guy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you. It's been a journey. It's been a wild and wonderful journey.
Thank you,
Theo,
Theo.
your spirit is so beautiful and so shiny and so pure. I feel so happy that you've been introduced to this community. Thank you.
Yeah.
Beautiful work, my friend.
Thank you. And the coherence meditations like really dropped me in. I just felt my heart so strong. Just progressively got deeper and deeper, and then it just like could feel my heart bursting to like share who I am, because it's been such a journey to like really uncover that. And someone shared recently something with me about, you know, on Zoom we have the spotlight. You go in the spotlight, and I'm like, I have this like shy, like I don't want to be in the spotlight. I don't want it to be about my ego. I don't want to, you know. But he said, you know, when you're in the spotlight, it's not about you being in the spotlight. It's you are the spotlight, and you're shining the light on the things that you care about. And it just, something hit my system in the way it was like, oh, wow, when I'm on stage or I'm in the spotlight, it's not about me. It's about the medicine in the song and the message in the song and all of us being together and sharing in that beautiful heart resonance. And it's just a wonderful teaching that really freed me up to be more available and share myself more generously. So thank you. I appreciate that reflection.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, Pia. So Scott, I think you have a couple of announcements before we have one more little session with Gary. Yeah?
Sure. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. Oh my gosh, I was just so taken by Theo and that beautiful. And also, to be honest, I was distracted. Theo, there's a little weird thing going on with your website and the pop-up blocker. I'll tell you about it later. So it's a little bit tricky. Yeah.
Maybe I'll just share a more direct link into my acoustic music. And
yeah, would you do that? Because right now there's a pop-up. It's not allowing us to accept the cookies, and the pop-up blocker is kind of going wonky.
Okay,
so that's
cool.
what I was working on.
Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, there are a couple of really beautiful things taking place tomorrow for our Global Peace Tribe, and that's what I want to kind of conclude our Global Peace Tribe announcements with. And of course, every Sunday I do the Sacred Sunday show. And tomorrow it's with beloved Larissa Stowe. I'm in her home temple visiting her this weekend. She, of course, co-hosted with me a beautiful show last night. If you missed it, please come watch it. And tomorrow, it's just going to be Larissa.
I think, Scott, my friend,
an amazing.
Scott, you're coming in and out of it.
Okay, can you hear me now?
We can hear you. You're a little frozen. Now you're perfect, my friend. I just want to be sure everyone can hear about tomorrow.
I'm doing my best to be perfect, and thank God Julie reminded me it's all an illusion of separation anyway. So if I'm not perfect,
we just want to hear you so everybody can join you.
I want to be heard. I definitely have a strong need to be heard. So thank you for letting me know. In fact, what I'll do is I'm going to put you on with me. You can just let me know if I'm being heard or not. So if I'm not, you can jump in. So going back to the screen share for a moment, Larissa Stowe is going to be with me sharing a very, very amazing true story that just recently happened in her life, in her world. She received a very difficult diagnosis, and she made this incredible choice to proactively face the darkness and actually entered 3 days of total darkness. She did what's called a dark retreat. And she'll go into the details of it. It was quite extraordinary and led to a miracle, a body healing miracle. So that's going to be tomorrow's Sacred Sunday show. And I encourage everybody to join us. That's, of course, at 10 o'clock Pacific time, 1 o'clock Eastern. Then we'll have a brief little break. And then we close out the weekend with, recently it was the 50th anniversary of the Rainbow Gathering. And of course, Fantuzzi is one of our absolute beloveds. He was, of course, there. And he's invited a lot of the people that were at the Rainbow Gathering to join us live. And we're going to have a dozen artists or more playing music that are all Rainbow Gathering beloveds. And so that's going to be tomorrow from noon. It says in the flyer noon till 6, but we've decided to make it just noon till 3. So noon till 3 Pacific time is going to be an amazing online Rainbow Gathering. I will put the link into the chat box. It's free. Just come on into the Zoom room. It'll also be broadcast on all of our regular Facebook pages that we usually are on. And so join us on Sunday morning, and then on Sunday afternoon. It's going to be quite special. Last announcement, I'm traveling, and I'm going to be in San Diego teaching, part of a beautiful gathering of several teachers on Sunday, July 31st. It's part of the San Diego Conscious Community Group. So any of you in Southern California that want to have a beautiful day with Scott and 7 or 8 other teachers live, like we get to hug each other and stuff. It's going to be on Sunday afternoon, July 31st. So that would be 2 weeks from tomorrow. So that's Global Peace Tribe announcements. And with that, did I make it through all the way, Jennifer?
Did great, my friend. It was not even perfect. It was seamless and effortless because it's not about perfection.
Beautiful. Thank you. All right. Well, I'm going to turn it over to Teresa to bring on our kind of final experience with Gary. And then we have a special video we're going to play at the very end that we just decided to add. So I'm trying to find Teresa.
I think
And
she
I don't know if she has her camera on. So
I think I'm going to go ahead and turn it over. I'll put it on, Scott. I think Teresa had me introducing Gary, so I'll go ahead and intro Gary. Not that he needs much of an introduction, but I'll go ahead and welcome Gary for his final performance here of the night. And Gary, you know, I just cherish you as a human being, as a soul brother. I love you. He is, of course, a 7-time Emmy-winning musician, producer, thought leader. You really are an evolutionary and a visionary, Gary. You know, I feel your heart every time we get together. I feel like I could cry because I just feel the radiance of your soul and how it's expressed through music and words and your beingness, most importantly. I just love you, my friend, and I'm so happy to be here with you.
Oh my God, Jed, thank you so much. Oh my God, my heart's cracking open. Thank you.
Yeah, I have to say,
Wow.
Gary, I remember the first time I was on the Awakening World show. I think it was Global Peace, or yeah, it was the Global Peace Tribe, maybe back in 2020 or early 2021, and it was 4 a.m. again. I was in London,
Wow.
and the first time I heard you play, Gary, I just sat here sobbing. I just felt my heart cracked open, and you changed my life with your music. So thank you.
Wow. My God. I've learned how to receive that, but it takes a little space. Oh my God. So, because you know what a being Jennifer is, what this being is. So to get that reflection back is so touching and beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much, my love.
I love you.
Um, yeah, wow.
Back to you.
Julie, I want to know, Julie, is she still there? Julie?
I think so. Yep, she's there.
Julie, get
Yes,
on the
Gary.
screen with me for a minute. So, what was the name? What was the phrase your granddaughter said again?
She said, I love the world. And
What
she
else did she
wanted
say?
everyone to learn how to love the world. She wanted to encourage us all to love the world. I just love the world, Grandma.
So, what I love about doing soul songs is you find out what prayer wants to be said over and over again from your higher self. But this is little, just a phrase. What's her name? Cooper?
Cooper.
I love the world. I love the world. I love my grandma and Poppy too. This is the most amazing place. Could you ever imagine being with you? I love the world. 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 It's always nice to make a little melody up in the moment. Cooper just touched me so much when you shared that. Just loved it. I was that kind of kid. Thank you, Julie. Thanks. I was that kind of kid that, like, I loved it. Oh, it was the best movie I ever saw, you know. And when my dad said, oh, you love every movie like that, and he would dismiss my joy, my love of, right? And it was like he made fun of it, right? And I just love that you shared that story. Thank you so much. It's beautiful. beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I want to sense I can drop into a deeper level of like turning pain into love, or I could do something more joyful and then end with something we can sing together. I just want to sense. Teresa, tell me. Abdicating responsibility again, I am. All right. All right. Do you have a sense?
Pause, take a pause, take a pause.
That's always a good idea, isn't it?
Into your heart.
So first of all, I just want to say, what a privilege. What a privilege to turn into the skid of trust in this empty screen and to risk feeling a level of currency that is as intimate to our hearts as the field is, because it's that viscous field that connects us. And just to actually turn into that skid of that awareness with that trust. So I think that what I want to do, I want to follow on that joy. I was going to go deep and dark because I love doing that too. But this song that I wrote with Christina Frith is just it's such a joyful song. And I wish somebody could write the lyrics of the chorus, if you can read it. It's, the searching is over. We answer the call. With spirit to guide us, there's justice for all. We're one human family. United we stand. The city of light is calling us home at last. I need Theo's strumming. I have been traveling all of my days, wondering where it will end, only to find that when I arrive, all of my love, I just begin again. All of my longing and all that I knew, I leave now to the past. The city of light is calling us home at last. See all the faces searching the land, wondering where to go. Lost in the darkness, outstretching hands, hungry for what they don't know. I know these faces, so ready to see. The dark is fading fast. The city of light is calling us home at last. The searching is over. We answer the call with spirit to guide us. There's justice for all. We're one human family. United we stand. The city of light is calling us home at last. See Cooper and all the children. Here we go. See all the children bursting with joy, kissing the light of day. Blossoms of springtime fresh from the morn, their light will lead the way. Now is the moment to walk in the light. The way is bright and vast. The city of light is calling us home at last. It's a cappella. The searching is over. We answer the call. With Spirit to guide us, there's justice for all. We're one human family, united we stand. The city of light is calling us home at last. The searching is over. We answer the call with Spirit to guide us. There's justice for all. We're one human family, united we stand. The city of light is calling us home at last. The city of light is calling us home at last. The city of light is calling us home at last. Whoa, 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 whoa. I've never sung that song that way in my life before. It must be because of Cooper. Telling you, it's all because of Cooper. I just didn't give a effing, I didn't care what anybody thought. I just love took over. That's it. Thank you.
Love is the answer. Love is the answer. You're spectacular. You outdid yourself. And I don't know about anybody else, but I was crying when you started singing that for Julie and Cooper. Oh, Gary, the way you riff, just beautiful.
So, the power of fertilizer. I heard recently from a really beautiful, wise elder, a friend of mine. So it's about keeping on turning the earth in a concentrated way that creates the biochemical process for shit turning into fertilizer. The miracle, right? So I want to invite us into the mulch of the sorrow in Ukraine, in women's hearts and minds in America right now. And most importantly, from the standpoint of we must become the change we want to see in the world, as Scott reminded me, all of the most important place, overcoming the ego's need, the wound's need, to try to find some way to make sense of the hurt from long ago. So we shall overcome that too. And as our practice of loving continues in the cycle of birthing and quickening, zenith and falling back to the earth, we approach death and challenge and darkness with all of our hearts, all of our souls. We shall overcome. We shall overcome ego. We shall, sing that with me, overcome. We shall overcome violence. We shall overcome someday. What here in my heart I do believe that we shall overcome someday. Just feel where the losses want to be held by your love, your arms, your presence. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid today. But deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. We shall not bow down. We shall not bow down. We shall not bow down today. Oh, deep in our hearts, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. Let's all sing this. Whatever you're overcoming, we shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. Someday.
Gary, that was just amazing. Really amazing.
Thank you. I guess I must feel safe because I've been feeling shy about performing like this online. It's another way in which I've been like letting my inner judge think I'm not, I don't fit the part of a gorgeous young Theo. It's like I'm an older guy, and suddenly all of that just suddenly means nothing. Just I'm a big heart. I might as well let myself be that. So there we go.
Yeah.
A few people have commented on how lovely it is to have, now people can turn their cameras on. And I'm so glad we've shifted from Zoom webinar to Zoom meeting. It's just, there is, and we have community here. Most of the people here have been coming week after week. So there is that sense of safety and family and community. And, we come together on Global Coherence on Saturday and during the day, and we come together in World Unity Week. And, it is really beautiful.
Scott, I really want to comment that intuitively, like the animal of my belly was responding to that. And when it was the other way, with all due respect, because he had all these big stars and stuff, it was sort of like lights staring at you, And this is such a much of the field is just so palpably more intimate. And I just want to thank you for giving me that experience, because even before I knew that you had made the shift, I didn't quite put it together. Now I understand why I responded this way. I didn't really care other than wanting to share my heart through my music. And that was a gift for me. So thank you. I really enjoyed that experience. Thank you.
Thank you. We're all learning and growing. We're going to have a chance to say goodbye and thank you to our beautiful presenters in a moment. But Sherry, you, at the very beginning, you had asked me to bring up this website. So do you want to tell us a little bit about what you wanted to share here?
Oh, thank you so much. Because this, most artists, they birth something with such care, and then they sort of leave the baby in a little carriage at the door and say, world, you find it, And this work is such a labor of love that Miranda and Ben Lineback and I created during the COVID years. And we really focused on the transmissive aspect of kirtan. And I used to be a bhakti, showing up at the front row of Ram Dass when I was 18 years old in the colleges of Oberlin and Ohio and all this. On my little 50 Suzuki, I'd be the first person on the satgang or at the satsang row. And to come back to kirtan and have the great privilege of working with my spiritual teacher, Miranda McPherson, who's an extraordinary teacher, and to actually be in the boat to create the transmission musically and spiritually and vibrationally. So I'm very proud of the work. Ben Lineback and Miranda and I really recommend it, not just as a musical experience, but as a transmissive cultivation practice. We really recommend it. It's called Streams of Grace. And thank you for letting me say a word about it, because not many people still know about it, but it's very powerful and restrained in its grace. So I encourage you to go online to mirandamcpherson.com and look under the Mantra album. Right there, it's there. Thank you for letting me share that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also want to just really encourage people to, if you haven't already joined Islands of Coherence, please do so. The work that Teresa does, let me put the spotlight on Teresa. The work she does is very, very powerful. And so again, I'm going to go to a couple of sites here. If you want to learn more about Islands of Coherence, it's islandsofcoherence.net. They just had today at 12 noon this beautiful event. And every month they collaborate with Unify or other speakers. They've got amazing things coming up. You've got Jude Curvin coming up. And tell us a little bit more about what you're doing with Islands of Coherence, Teresa.
Well, the event this morning was the Global Coherence Pulse, which is the other website, but that's okay, Scott, because they're both connected. The Global Coherence Pulse is our monthly opportunity for us to come together and practice cultivating greater coherence in our lives. And the Islands of Coherence is the community network that we have been cultivating and forming of people that are really choosing to experience and cultivate greater coherence. So we did have a pulse this morning with the Unify team. It was amazing. We do have Jude Curvin coming up. We have different people every month, pretty exciting. So come and add your heart. It's free and you can join us. And we every time, just like right now, we've just felt so much love here. So much love has been cultivated. Gary, I love somebody wrote, "You are a gorgeous young guy." You should take that in. That was that was, I know, I love that. That was really good. I'd love to bring all of our presenters on. And, one of the things that we do at the end of every pulse is that we just take this feeling that we're feeling and we really just send it out into the world and send it into the field of each other. Theo, I know that you were dying to say something after Gary did that performance. I could tell. Do you want to open your mic for a second? I could see you were just like, oh man, I'm going to go for it after seeing Gary do that. Right?
It was a transmission. Like I felt like I received like this transmission of just like the power and the freedom. And I like you were singing to this sweet young child, and I felt your inner child just so free and so lit, just like having fun playing music. And yes, deep bows to the container and to you like stepping fully into that and just giving us that gift. And it's just like this gift that keeps on giving, because then you feel safe to be you, and then everyone feels more safe to be who they are. So
Universe.
You're such a gift.
Thank you. That from you. That means so much to me from you. You can't. I don't think you even know.
Yeah, so can we just play another song? Because now you just opened the floodgate. You like opened the portal for everyone else to go a whole other level into this experience. So.
Oh, right. Well, who are you to? Who are you asking? I wish latency didn't exist.
I know. I want to play with you.
No, like let's jam. Let's all co-create right now on the
Well,
spot.
you know what we could do is we could open the floodgates on one huge ohm together.
That sounds
Because there's
perfect.
no latency, right?
No
Yeah.
latency on the ohm.
And let's just do that, right? And you could take everybody take unmute and try not to make any other noises, and let's allow what Zoom allows for us to practice, where we can sing without worrying about latency, right? So let's just, and I would like to Om Ahu is the really inclusive. Om Ahu, who is the Sufi. Om is the India. All right. So if that's okay with you, it kind of includes everyone. So it's. Now let's all just take a breath, 3 breaths together. Unmute. Little controlled chaos here. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. I don't think we can take the mutes off. Sweet low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. If this were a live room, I would continue, but I have a feeling I need to complete.
Oh, that's so good. And James, thank you so much for staying with us this whole time. I know it's late where you are. Every time I looked up, you were just smiling and dancing and having such a good time. So great to have you present and love in the field. We got to keep bringing you back.
It'd be an honor.
Let's do a pulse together, James. Jennifer, let's plan on doing a pulse with James.
Let's do it.
Can I be on it?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I want to be on it.
Join. We'll have the whole thing.
You put my words in my mouth, Theo.
We'll have a part. And Julie, thank you so much for coming on. I love that you just brought in the presence of what's happening as you're spending time with your family. And that's what we need to do. We need to take what's actually occurring, the everyday magic that love is, and really keep bringing that and sharing it with each other. And Jennifer, I can't believe how beautiful you look at 3 a.m. I mean, it's just, it's
Or I think now.
Meditation and coherence. That's the only ways I can do it. Fair. It's sunlight is coming up over London right now, 4:44 a.m.
Wow.
Good morning.
Thank you so much. So
Well,
beautiful.
we actually do have a wonderful way we're going to close out. I mean, we could go on, and I'd love to. That's what we do. But there's a video that Johanna created for us. And I realized halfway through the show, oh my God, the show is all about love is the answer. And it's a video that we commissioned her. I had this fantasy about taking a Beatles song, slightly changing the words from all you need is love to do everything with love. And Johanna did a wonderful job with it. So we're going to close out, since it's all about love is the answer, with this wonderful video that Johanna did for us. And I invite everybody to sing along with Johanna and the video. Just keep yourselves muted. And here we go.
Love, 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 love. Love is everything. Love is everything. Love, 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 love. Love, love, love. Love, 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 love. Love, love, love. Oh, oh, oh. Nothing you can do that can't be done. Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. Do everything with love. Do everything with love. Do everything with love. Love. Love is everything. Nothing you can make that can't be made. Nothing you can save that can't be saved. Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be you in time. It's easy. Yeah. Do everything with love. Do everything with love. Do everything with love. Love. Love is everything. Love is everything. Love is everything. Yeah. Love is everything. Love is everything.
The sweetest video, and some of our wonderful luminaries that have been on Teresa's show and on Global Peace Tribe. Great job, Johanna. Great job, everybody. What an amazing global community we are blessed to be a part of. And there's those of us that are presenters, but there's also all the wonderful people watching. You are our family, and each and every one of us, everyone is an imaginal cell in the new paradigm and the butterfly that we are creating all together, everybody. So I'm going to gallery view so we can see everybody. Turn on your cameras, twinkle, lots of love, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow for the Sacred Sunday show and or Fantuzzi concert. God's blessings, everybody. Have a beautiful evening. Bye-bye.